Well, hey y'all, welcome to TLT with Lita. I know we're running a few minutes behind. Thank you for your patience. I am excited and ready to get into our time together today. Welcome again on YouTube, IG, and TikTok. Welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I am Lita, and I'm excited to have this conversation. In this particular conversation, I see it as one of the more important ones, if you will, one that causes us to begin to see things outside of ourselves and see exactly what we are leaving behind and what will, in fact, live beyond us. And I think that's super important. So I hope that you all are ready to jump in. I hope that you have been having an incredible day so far. And I am really interested. How are you all doing? Let me know in the chat how you're doing, whether whichever platform you're on. If you're doing well, give me a thumbs up. If you're struggling, you can say I'm struggling, or you can put a thumbs down. Just let me know how y'all doing. I think that's important before we get into this particular conversation, because if your mood is kind of off or your energy is down, I'm not sure how you're going to process what we're going to talk about today, although we will have the conversation. You may have to come back and watch it a second time, but this conversation is so important. So today's leadership tip is this. Let's go from devotion. Let's go from devotion to legacy. I was reading a message here on TikTok. But let's go from that discipline and going from that discipline to devotion that we talked about last week to actually setting out to build a legacy. And as we talked about moving from discipline to devotion last week, um, where leadership stops and it stops being something you force and it starts being something that's a part of you. And when this thing starts being a part of you, we take the next step. When it's a part of you, when you set out to be devoted to that vision, to that thing that has become a part of you. Once you have done that, now let's take it a little deeper. Let's take this thing a little bit further than what we talked about a couple of Tuesdays ago. Because the truth is this: leadership is not just about achieving success, though we all want success. True leadership is not just about reaching goals, though we want to reach our goals. I'm not denying the desires that we have as leaders. We do want to build influence. I'm not denying that at all. And I'm not telling anybody not to feel that, because that would be fake and phony. And I'm not about being fake and phony. Let's be real about this thing. We want to achieve success. We want to reach our goals. We want to build influence in the leadership space, whether it's in a certain area of leadership or in uh, a certain arena, if you will, where leadership is. Yes, we want to do that, but when it's all said and done, it's about creating something that outlives us, creating something that continues to make impact on people long after we're gone, long after the moment is over. We want to make sure that there's something that is outliving us. And this is important as leaders who are facilitating transformation. And so this particular session today, you all, it really challenges us. It challenges us in a way that it challenges us to stop thinking only about what we're building for ourselves, and to start thinking about what we are actually building through ourselves. And this is important because I don't want my labor to be in vain. I don't want the work that I put in, even on this platform, giving out this information on in this particular space, in the leadership space. I don't want it to be in vain. I want it to be something that outlives me. I want it to be something that you can take, and you can take it back to your organization. You can take it back to the people that you lead, the people that you know, and you can actually let this thing live on through me and then through you. And so I said, even on the announcement about today's conversation, some leaders, some leaders do build platforms. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. There are some who are building paychecks. Listen, we don't want to do everything for free. So we want to build that too. But we also want to build legacy. We want to build legacy. And so the question that I ask myself, and I'm going to pose it to you: if my leadership ended today, what would continue because I led? So ask yourself that question. If your leadership ended today, in whatever capacity you lead, would it continue because you led well, because you built a legacy? Another question I asked myself was, well, what are people actually inheriting from my leadership? What are they actually inheriting? Are they inheriting something that's worth living on, or are they inheriting just, you know, hoopla, or going through the motions, or just trying to make money? What are they really inheriting? And I asked myself those two questions, and I encourage you to ask yourself the same, because when you get clarity about what you do and why you do it, it helps you to begin to align yourself so that you can answer those questions, and you can say, you know what I'm doing really will outlive me. The people that I'm leading, they are inheriting some value. They're inheriting value that will live on, that they can use in their leadership space, that they can teach to their leaders that come along with them. This is what I found out, y'all, that leadership is not measured only by what we accomplish. It also, and probably more importantly, it is measured by what remains after us. What's remaining after us is more important than what we actually accomplish, as it relates to finances, as it relates to the vision, the goals, all the things. What are we really leaving that can outlive us? And so, the first thing I want to say to us to kind of help us along and to make things a little bit clearer about what I'm talking about is that legacy is built every day. We're building it every day. It's not created in one big moment. It's created through our repeated decisions, through our standards that we are consistent about. It is built through the integrity that we uphold. It's built through the leadership habits that we develop in our lives and that we teach to those that are in our businesses, those that are working with us and working for us. Legacy is built through those repeated things, because what we consistently practice eventually becomes what people remember. I think I've said it like this before, that people watch what you do more than they hear what you say. So, what we are consistently doing is what people actually are remembering. What leadership traits, y'all, are you rehearsing every day? Is it integrity? Is it honesty? What traits? Is it character? Is it competence? What traits are we rehearsing every single day? because whatever we consistently practice is what people are actually remembering about us. We could have stood and talked for 45 whole minutes without even barely taking a breath in between words. But what we do consistently every day, that's what they're actually going to remember. Would your habits build trust or confusion? What would your habits do for the people who are around you? Will they be confused or will they be clear and then trusting? We're talking about building legacy here. We're not talking about building a platform, or we're not even talking about building a reputation so much, but we're talking about building a legacy. And when devoted leaders that we talked about last week, we build beyond ourselves. We build beyond what we want just for us. When we start looking at who are we impacting? Who are we influencing? Who is being transformed negatively or positively by the things that we do consistently every day? And I don't want us to become immature leaders, although I understand that we all start there. We all start there, and that's okay. We just don't want to stay there because immature leadership asks questions like, how can I grow? But a legacy builder asks, who grows because of me? Who's going to grow because Lita stood and did a live 2 Tuesdays out of the month? Who's going to grow? And this is the thing, right? You may not know every single person that's growing off something you said or something you did, but because you set standards and you were consistent, devoted, and you did what you needed to do in the times that you needed to do it, and you did it consistently, and somebody grew because you showed up. You didn't just show up for you, but you showed up for whoever was around you, whoever had a chance to grow, they grew because of you. When you become legacy minded, you do stuff like mentoring, whether you and I'm not saying you got to have somebody, paying you to mentor them. That's not what I'm talking about. If that's what you do, I'm not knocking you for it. I am saying that when you are legacy minded, you mentor even without having to be paid for it. You do it intentionally. You do it because you know that you have an impact on who's coming after you. When you become legacy minded, you create opportunities to build on that legacy. You develop people. You build the systems that will outlast you. And sometimes that means you got to get some input, even from people younger than you, people who know more about the latest and the greatest. Getting help doesn't mean that you're weak, it means that you're wise. And part of building that legacy is making sure that you're not leaving someone out, whether that is to build or develop them, or whether that is to learn from them. Legacy builders are lifetime learners. And when they need to learn, they know when to learn. When they need to lead, they know when to lead. Let's just get ourselves in this posture, in this mindset that our leadership is not proven by how many people depend on you. It's not proven by, oh, I got 5,000 people that's dependent on me. That's not how it's proven. It's proven by how many people grow because of you. How many people are growing because of you? How many people are actually growing because of you? And so I want to give you three things that leaders leave behind. This is so important. And then listen, it doesn't mean that you die out of it. I'm not saying that you die and you leave this behind. You could be very much alive and well, but you leave something that outlasts you on the people who you are leading, the people who are around you, and you show them by example. You show them something that's going to stick with them. As I was thinking about this, I can think of specific people that certain things they demonstrated to me being my leader that stuck with me and is still with me today. And what they have imparted through these three things I'm going to tell you about that they have given to me is now being given through me. It outlived them, though they are very much alive. But I'm so grateful and thankful for the leaders that showed me what right looks like. They showed me what pivoting looks like. They showed me what standing looks like. They showed me what humility looks like. They left something that outlived them. And the first thing, and the number one thing I want to tell you that you as a leader can leave behind to your people is your example. Your example. People remember how you lived more than they remember what you said. They remember that you showed them something that nobody else had ever shown them. I'm thinking of a lady right now. I'm saying a lady, but the last I checked, she was a full bird colonel in the military, and I'll never forget her. To this day, I'll never forget her because she showed me an example of what female leadership looked like, both strong and soft, as a woman and as a military leader. She showed me something that I'd never seen growing up. I didn't see it with my mother. I didn't see it with my grandmother. She showed me something that I'd never seen before. And to this day, it sticks with me. And as I'm thinking about her now, she was consistent throughout the time and the years that I've known her, always consistent, always learning, always growing, taught me to be a lifetime learner, taught me to continue to feed the things that I want to grow. I appreciate that kind of leadership, and that's the type of leader that I endeavor to be and that I continue consistently being in my leadership, because I know that people, they'll remember how I performed in front of them more than they'll remember all the words that I spoke. So your example is the number one thing that every leader leaves behind. And unfortunately, all leaders don't leave positive examples, but every leader will leave your example. You'll leave it. The second thing that you will leave is your culture. Every one of us creates an environment. We have to determine what type of environment we want to leave. Is it an environment of fear or freedom? A lot of people are not themselves because they fear. A lot of people don't um, portray who they really are. They're not authentic because of fear. And when environments have been created around fear, then people continue to be fake. Is the environment that we create, is it one of fear or freedom? I want people to be themselves. Yes, we have guidelines, we have operational procedures, we have certain things that we do, but I don't want you to not be you. So is it an environment of fear or freedom? Is it an environment of chaos or clarity? Are you a clear leader? Are you consistently clear about whatever it is that you have your team doing? If the environment is always chaotic because there is no clarity, which is it? Are you creating an environment of chaos or clarity? Are you creating an environment of pressure or growth? I think this is so important to allowing people to be innovative. And I know everyone can't be innovative in every area of business. I'm not saying that, but I am saying, are they always pressured, or are they in an environment and a culture where the team can grow, where one person might excel in this particular thing, another one can excel in something else, and everybody at the same time is growing? Is it an environment of pressure or growth? Your culture, our culture, we are leaving behind, good, bad, or indifferent. We are leaving a culture, and that culture will determine how people operate in the environment. Are they going to be free or fearful? Are they going to be chaotic, or are they going to be clear? Are they going to be pressured all the time, or are they going to grow and blossom into who they can be in the particular position that they're in right now? Are they growing, or are they pressured? Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. Um, so we're leaving behind our example, we're leaving behind our culture. The third thing that we are leaving behind is our impact on people. We need to know as leaders, is our leadership strengthening people, or is it simply using them? That's a real question, y'all, I just believe that if you get clear on that, you'll know if you're strengthening people or if you're just using them. And if you are just using them, your impact is still being left with them. And if that is your impact, perhaps they will go on using people instead of strengthening them. Your legacy, ladies and gentlemen, is living in the people you influence. Whoever you are influencing, that's where you're leaving your example. That's where you're leaving your culture. That is where you are leaving the impact. That's where your legacy is being left. And we as leaders, something that I want us to get today, if you get nothing else, we got to build this legacy intentionally. Your character in private will eventually become your public legacy. You know something, I was thinking about how in certain settings, in certain environments, people don't want to share information. They don't want to teach what they know. It's almost like hoarding the information. I don't want to show them this because, I'm trying to use this right now for me. So I saw this in a particular environment that I was in before, and I was like, I don't understand. If you know something that's going to pull people forward, why not teach it to them? Why not teach it to them? Because me helping the next group of people or the next leader, it's not hurting me. It's actually building my legacy. And it's doing the same for you if you really catch this thing. It's not hurting you to pull someone else along. It's actually building your legacy. Think about it. Um, think about the results that are beyond like what you see immediately. Because a lot of times we don't do things because we don't see the immediate results. But think beyond that. Think beyond that. Because legacy leaders don't just ask what works now. We ask what will still matter years from now. What's still going to matter years from now? I might not even be in this position. I may be somewhere else doing something completely different. But what will still matter then? Our temporary success may impress people for a short while, but it is that lasting impact. What outlasts us is what actually transforms them. This thing is good to me, y'all. It's good to me because I know this is what I walked through. This is how it was for me. I learned. People taught me. I am now transformed as a result of leaders who didn't hoard what they knew, but they shared it. Lord, whew, they shared it, y'all. They shared what they had. And that's what I intend to do on this platform with Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I'm going to share what I know because I want people to come along after me. They don't have to work for me, they don't even have to know me. But if they can get something that could pull them along, that's what matters to me most. That's what matters to me most, y'all. If somebody else can avoid some pitfalls, somebody else can grow faster than I did. I really want some people not to have to go through everything through experience. I don't want everybody to have to go through it experientially. I want them to be able to learn from somebody like me, like hear what I'm saying, know that I'm not just talking. I'm telling you because this is experience. And if you can build some legacy starting now, because this is the youngest we're going to get right now. And it's better to go ahead and do something that builds a legacy. Make yourself proud by what you leave behind for those in their future. Build something that lasts. So here's a challenge for us this week. Here's a challenge for us. Identify one legacy trait that you want to be known for. Just one. One legacy trait. And listen, I want y'all to understand this doesn't mean that you have to be at a certain level, you got to have a certain amount of money. You could be a stay-at-home mom. You could be a stay-at-home dad. If you have one legacy trait that you want to be known, identify that. And I want you to invest intentionally into one person this week. One, just one person. And then ask yourself, what am I building that will outlive me? What am I building that will outlive me? And when you identify this one legacy trait, don't downplay it. Don't treat it like it's not important. Listen, everybody is important to somebody. What you have is important to somebody. So I like to treat everybody like they're somebody important. And when you start looking at your traits as if they are important to somebody, you'll start treating it like there's somebody waiting on what I have. There's somebody waiting on this trait that I possess. They're waiting on it. And I'm going to start with one person. One person that I can share this particular trait with. I'm going to start with them. And invest intentionally into that one person this week. It's only Tuesday, y'all. I say this every time I get on, just about. It's only Tuesday. There's one person that looks to you. There's one person, even if it's your children, parents, it's one person that is looking to you for that example, for that legacy that you're building, for that trait that you possess. There's one person that does. And then ask yourself, what am I building that I will pass on to outlive me? And I want to leave y'all with this thought, and I'm out of here. Your leadership is writing a story every single day. That's the thought. Your leadership is writing a story every single day. All right, y'all. So if y'all want to share, if you're bold, if you're brave, you want to put it in the comments once I post this video. Put it in the comments, that one legacy trait that you're going to intentionally invest in someone this week. And remember, your leadership, whether you're leading a team, leading a business, leading your family, is writing a story every single day. All right, y'all. It's been amazing. Y'all have an amazing remaining of this Tuesday evening. I appreciate you all. And as I ask always, share this with another leader who needs this conversation. Share this with someone who's building a legacy. Share this with someone who doesn't know they're building one. All right, y'all. Until next time, second and fourth Tuesday of June, we'll be back together again. Y'all have a great day. All right.